fourth graders, we're going to start where we left off. Last time I was with you at home with Mrs. Hockin, we had drawn a self-portrait, or close to a self-portrait. It was kind of a stick figure silhouette of ourselves, and then we divided this paper into several sections by taking our ruler and drawing lines, at least 10 different lines over our paper. What we have done by doing that is create all these wonderful positive and negative spaces. Remember, positive space is the subject of the picture. In other words, your figure would be positive. All those little spaces that are around it are negative spaces. So when we get ready to add the color, which is what our job is to do today, we will be coloring in both the positive and negative spaces. Both the positive and negative spaces become equally important in this picture because we're going to treat them all the same. And here's what I mean by that. Each enclosed space gets its own color. And the goal here is to try to make sure that no two shapes that touch each other have the same color. So we have to do a little bit of planning. Let's go ahead and just get started. For example, this area right here, this is one of the enclosed shapes. Okay, and I'm going to outline it and start to color it in. Now this takes time because we're going to do it carefully, and we want to do it using control, because this cubistic project, it doesn't work very well unless you have nice clean edges. If you scribble, the effect just does not work. So I need to, what I find works best for me is use that pointy part of your marker to outline each shape before you start coloring it in, because some of the shapes, like look at this itty bitty one, that's a tiny one. So I'm going to outline it first and then color it in, okay? Now, again, you don't want any two colors touching each other, so I wouldn't do this shape green, I would do it a different color so that I can really see the difference in those. So let's take this section. I will outline the area that I'm gonna color in first, so I know where I'm coloring. It helps define the area that I'm going to do it. Then I start to color it in. And again, take your time. The conical tip, or that cone tip, really works nice in this because the pointed edge can give you those fine outlines, and then the side here of your cone can do a nice thick line and color in some of those spaces more quickly once you get to the bigger parts. So this is what your job is today. You are going to take your markers, and the more colors you have, I suppose, the easier this is, that you won't get, two colors next to each other that are the same, or two shapes next to each other that are exactly the same. But you can use any color combinations you want. You could do this in all warm colors, you could do it in all cool colors, or you can just do it in a whole bunch of colors. One thing I do notice is I like to spread my colors out. In other words, you don't want a whole bunch of blue just in one area and nowhere else. So I've got these little green spots, and every once in a while I'll put some green out there just to make it look more balanced. So one more demonstration before I speed things up for you. Make sure you outline the area you're coloring and then color it in. So let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Okay, I did it. I managed to color in every enclosed space. No white spaces left, and no two shapes have the same color butted up against each other. So what you have now is you have really abstracted and made your image very cube-like. So we have ourselves here a cubistic self-portrait that you have completed. Hopefully you enjoyed yours, and make sure you take a picture of it and send it to me, or you can put your name on it and bring it in when we are face to face. Until then, I'll see you next time at home with Mrs. Hawken.